Hello everyone, thanks for showing up in this channel. Today I'm going to give you a very important lesson. If someone asked you to cut a wooden tree, what would you do? Normally, if you're wise enough, what would you do is you would sharpen your axe, because with a sharp axe you can cut the tree faster. If you don't do that, you would waste a lot of energy and time to cut that tree. So the technique that I'm going to show you today is to sharpen your mind in order to capture the learning. This lesson is going to be something that can serve you for your life. If you pay some attention and patient enough to learn those skills, they will serve you, because the faster you learn or the more you learn, the more you earn. So to earn more, you have to learn more. And to learn more, first you need to know how to learn faster, because we all have got fixed time, or our time is limited. So we have to be able to use this time more efficiently. To be able to do that, you have to know techniques that can serve you in this purpose. So this video is done. I have done this video in Tigrinya, and many asked me, could you do it in English so others can also benefit from it? So it came from a lot of research. Without saying another word, I'm going to take you to the lesson, and I hope you will learn from it much. So, as I previously said, the topic for today is how to study faster, 5 best techniques. I myself, my name is George, by the way, and I have earned 3 different degrees, 2 bachelor degrees and then a master degree. I knew some of these techniques from experience, but I keep saying to myself, I wish I knew these techniques, because they could have served me even more, because I remember those sleepless nights and all the worries and all the time that I spent. Some of them were not right, but if you put on time, you can still get results. This technique is not like a quick fix thing. You're going to put on time, but how you put on time is going to be the most important thing. So before saying another, let's get started. The number one technique is to take breaks and rest. This is quite the opposite, actually. We think working harder and more will bring the results we need, but on the other hand, the right ways to take breaks and rest. For example, if you study for 20, many people, the right amount of time that you need to learn is between 25 and 50 minutes. This is the time span our mind could be actively absorbing knowledge. Anything more than that, it would bore the brain. So within this range between 25 to 50 minutes, after taking this time, you have to take 10 to 15 minutes of break. Then you can continue again. But within this 10 to 15 minutes break, please do something something another something it could be an exercise, or you could do something else. Do not continue reading. So do something. You can go outside, walk around your yard or whatever, but keep a break between your studies. That's more important. You can relax, move, fresh air, walk, play, or other activities. Important thing is every 25 to 50 minutes, take a break, 10 to 15 minutes. That's the technique number one. Because if you don't take break, the brain will slowly stop absorbing the knowledge, though you're trying to get. The second one is take a 6 to 8 hours night sleep the night after you study. You see, sometimes especially during the exam times, we think the more we study, the better it is. No, it's quite the opposite. You need enough break or enough sleep. This enough sleep helps you during the night, or when we are sleeping. Our brain actually takes the things that you've been learning and puts them in structure into your mind. These are the things that can stay there, and when you go to the exam, or if you're learning for knowledge's sake, this is actually very important. Otherwise, you're just feeling the thing, and the mind will not be absorbing it. So take enough sleep. Sleep deprivation doesn't help you, it actually hurts you. If you do this, for example, it says if you do this, you will remember much better, says Dr. James B. Moss. This is an advice from this person. If you feel sleep deprived, take 15 to 30 minutes nap before you start studying. So, for example, for some reason you didn't sleep last night and you have to study today. Before you start your studies, take 15 to 30 minutes nap. I'm not saying you sleep 5 hours, but take a short nap, wash your face, get back to work. Because with all your deprivation, if you start learning it, it's not going to be effective. And we're talking here about effective studies so that you can create the results you wanted. This was technique number one. Technique number two is taking notes. This is very important. Some of us, I myself used this technique. Nobody told me, but for some reason it served me and I started to use it even more. So taking notes during class engages your mind and helps you to focus on the topic. I myself was a kind of person that could easily be distracted with what is going on here or with what is going on in my mind. So I always use this taking notes technique because it helps me to focus on what's being said. And when I'm in class, for example, I try to take notes so that I can keep myself in class. So the engagement or taking notes helps me to focus, and focus is very important when we're talking about learning. When you're reading or studying, take notes as well. So while you're reading, you make scratches. It could be something that you a summary, or you just write it on a piece of paper in a certain way, and that makes the connection. Another study also says that what you put on your hand, there is a connection with your mind. So if you put a scratch or you do something, your mind has more capacity to remember it. So that's also another technique. If you worry about things, close your eyes and just visualize everything ending well. Of course, we all have worries in our mind. It could be anything. So these worries should not stop you from your studies. The technique you should use here is that you just close your eyes and visualize that everything is going to be fine. Everything is ending very well. And pretty much it's going to be the same. So the story in your mind should end in a certain way, in a positive way. And you should remind your mind to rather focus on your studies. And that's how you can keep your mind focused. If your mind keeps drifting and losing focus, use the keyword technique. So, for example, you're studying biology right now. So you're learning about the heart or the mind or the brain or whatever. So if you're reading about brain right now and your mind keep drifting to other thoughts, say loudly, brain, brain, brain. The keyword that you're reading, repeat it, and it tells your mind, hey, right now I'm trying to accomplish something. Please help me to focus there. So we have to actively keep our mind. Otherwise, we will be distracted and drifted. And drifting is the worst enemy we can ever have, because it keeps us from the things we want to accomplish. So always repeat the keyword you're reading, and that will help you to regain your focus. Two techniques. Let's go to the third. Focus on the majors. They say some people focus on the minors. They major on the minors, and you shouldn't be that. What does that mean? When you're learning something, first try to create a picture, the topic, the biggest topic. So first try to understand the major things. In this lesson that I am reading right now or trying to understand, what are the major topics? The five, the four, the three. Make a picture or just label them with a title. So then, like your hand, you always use your hand. So what are the major points within this context? And then in this title or in this topic, what do I have? The subtopic is the subtopic. So make a picture. And there is some kind of technique, I don't remember it, but use this technique. Start with a bigger picture and go into detail. Some of you just immediately immerse yourself into details and try to get a lot of details. If these details are not connected to the bigger picture, you're always going to be confused, because you don't have. It's like you're in a store or in a shopping a mall, and you immediately started to see in one store whatever you're seeking. You should rather go to the menu or whatever the information and see what floor has what. Before you go and search in that area, you should be wise enough to go and see, okay, floor number 2 is for men's section. If you go to the women's section and seeking for or searching for men's things, it's not going to serve you. You're going to waste time. So it's exactly the same here, or similar probably. So start to know what are the biggest important things in here and start to understand them first. Again, when you're studying a topic that is a little bit complicated, I would rather use to understand the keywords, because these keywords are going to make your life so easier or difficult. If you don't understand the keywords, the meaning of these words, then it's going to be confusing for you the more you read and the more they are repeated. So I would take time to go to dictionary, or if it's a book, go to the glossary section and try to find the meaning of this keyword or the few concepts that are repeated in this context. So understand them, and then the rest, you will save more time and you will understand the whole picture in much easier way. The advice in here is, don't get caught into in details. Many people spend so much of time dealing with the details which are not really helpful, not relevant enough. The biggest picture, if you have the biggest picture, you can always play around with that. And that's a very important technique, because if you don't do that, you're going to lose time and you're going to lose the focus. The number 4 technique is tricking your mind. You see, our mind is a very important tool, or a very important organ of our life. But, and we always believe our brain is the most sophisticated part of our body, but we still can trick our brain. How are you going to trick your brain? Let's see. Sometimes we can trick our brain if we know the right techniques. So, for example, if you're studying something that is not really interesting, it could be geography or history or maths. Of course, maths sometimes can get really uninteresting. I mean, those algebra things, nobody knows where they're used, and I never understood why I was learning all these models. I used to work in finance, at least with numbers, but like 90% of all these theories and formulas, none of it was actually waste. I'm not questioning why I learned those in the first place. It could be I am using them in different part of life, but at least I learned how to solve a problem. When you solve a mathematical problem, don't get caught into solving that problem. It is actually a technique. You take the given, for example, and there is an equation when you solve, you first take the given things and then you make what is required and what kind of solution do I seek. This is exactly in life the same. You have a situation, then first you try to say, so what do I have given in here? What do I have resources? And then what resource do I need to do this thing? And where can I get help, or what kind of formula or technique can I use? So life is pretty much the same, like a maths equation or any kind of equation. That's another story. Let's get back to. So if the topic you're reading or learning is not very interesting to you, try to trick your mind, believing that it's a script to a movie. You can tell your mind, hey, this is a very important script. And if I don't know the script, the movie is not going to be good. So I'd rather know, I should give it more time and energy and focus more so that this movie is going to be good. And you have to speak the things on your own thing, because one thing that you understood a topic is that if you can speak it in your own language, in, through your own words, I mean, you can memorize things as much as you can, but as long as you cannot communicate or speak it in your own language, the thing is not going to be clear enough for you. And this is when you go to exam, for example, they will ask you to explain certain things, and they're not expecting you to throw the things that you memorized it, which is sometimes it works too. But if you understood it and you could put it in your own words, it's always smarter, and you will get the best grades. So, and you should motivate and promise your mind to get something pleasure or surprise if you focus on a topic. This was a very good trick that I used it a lot. So I tell my mind, okay, you want to think about this girl, you want to think about that movie, you want to think about that car or whatever it is. Okay, I'm going to give you time, but just now help me finish this chapter. When we finish this chapter, we're going to think about whatever you wanted. If you're going to go for a walk, we're going to do it. If you want to make a call, we're going to do it. But let's finish this thing. And when you promise your mind, you better do it. You cannot fool your mind a lot. So give him a promise or trick your mind, say something, what your mind wants, and tell him we're going to do that. But first we finish that. And when you're done with that, you go and do that. And this way you create a friendship and your brain have this feeling, okay, let's finish this and we're gonna have fun and we're gonna do that and this. Another technique is put a picture of what you want to be in front of you. If you want to be an engineer, get it. If you want to be a developer, get a picture of a smart developer or whatever picture that can give you the boost in front of you. You have to get inspired by the thing you want to be and put this in front of you. Inspiration in a sense, not to dream about it, but to work for it. You see that guy or the person you're envisioning or the role model you have, that guy got there by working, not by just simply dreaming. So make yourself like, okay, I want to get there and I want to be him. But in my place, he was working, not dreaming. So if I work today and I use my time well, I will be someday like the person you're aspiring to be. And that really helps the brain to focus and to see the importance of why our brain should focus. And the fifth or the last technique is they call it a mind palace. And this is also a very effective technique. When you're studying in a certain place or in a room, look in the room. What objects do you see? The window, the door, the floor, the ceiling, the table, the chair, whatever it is. And when you're learning, try to connect the concepts you're learning with the objects in the room. So by the time you're in exam, when you're looking when you recall the window of the room, you would recall the chapter related to that object. So it helps you to visualize and connect the concept you're learning with the objects around you. So all you need to do is remember the door, and the door is related to certain topic. And this technique also helps a lot in learning different things. So it says visualize the concepts you're studying with the objects or people in the room. You can also connect it to the teacher, to the student that you like or not. If there is a topic you don't like, you can relate it to the teacher you don't like or whatever. So make a trick, because these exceptional things will help you to remember, and your brain will always appreciate this kind of visualization. If you're asked to cut a wooden, I said this already, a technique to cut a wooden tree, if someone asked you to cut a tree, a poor guy would start cutting with the axe he has. A smart person would actually look at the axe and say, okay, this is not good enough. So I better use 10 minutes to sharpen my axe. And then you can cut the tree with less energy and less time. And this video is meant to serve you exactly for that purpose. So what I am trying to give you is, if you use these techniques, you can adjust them a little bit to suit you. But if you use these techniques, you can study faster, short period of time, efficient, and you can create or get the results you want to have. So please, you can use this video for yourself. You can share it with your friend. You can share it with your siblings. If you're an older person, show it to your kids. And if you're a younger person, share it with your peers, because these techniques are very important in making your studies more efficient and effective, and it will help you to create the results you would like to have. If you're new into this room or in this channel, my name is George, and this channel really prepares content that can help us to upgrade our thinking, because we are, at the end of the day, we are the result of our thinking. And I always follow the principle of Jim Rohn, says, for things to get better, first, I need to get better. For things to improve, I have to improve. So if I improve myself, and one of these techniques, what these techniques give us you is to be better in the things you're doing. So I really, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you liked it, you can share it with your friends. But for today, I'm ending this video here, and I prepare many other videos. I have many videos, and I will prepare also more. And until we meet in another product or another video, I wish you all the best. Hope to see you another time. Goodbye.